Again, period has just started, 15 seconds in, and the pressure is already on from both teams.
Mumby creeping around the goals at the moment, looking to pass back, set up to forehead, lovely shots! Over in the middle of the field, takes a shot, first points going to FPS tonight. Oh, High Quinn, my boy! More stability in this place, sees the opportunity, good defense again from Cooper. Both sides of the field at the moment. Forehead, lovely setup to Arrow there. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the grand final for Pro League. It has been quite a while building up to this, actually, wouldn't you say, Spar?
Oh, definitely. I've been trying to wait patiently, but it's been a while. It's been a while.
Yeah. We've had a few delays here and there, just in terms of trying to get teams together to play, and Open League somehow got their stuff together pretty quickly. But, here we are, finally, ready for a Pro League showdown. Sydney Gafs versus FPS. Lovely stuff. FPS being a new team on the block. Well, relatively new. About, what, 2 seasons, is it, I believe? Something like that?
Yeah, they only joined Open last season. They only, started playing recently. And I'm pretty sure they're, as a combined team, have some of the highest hours in the game. I can confirm Boppy is carrying that a lot himself. Grinds the game.
Exactly, and they're going to be going up against their counterpart tonight, Sydney Gafs, who have a lot of experience, who go way back, like way before even me, and I'm pretty new still, but even you get the point. You get the point. Experience versus new players tonight. We'll see who wins out of a experience versus talent battle. Yeah, we'll go battle. Showdown. All right, we'll just jump straight into the stats. We'll make them quick this time around. Starting off with the offensive members tonight, we have Ended, and I believe that I've put down Boppy. Everything's a little bit small on my end here, so just give me a second to take a better look at these. Boppy and Chim, and Ended. So Ended with quite a fair few passes, reaching around 419. Well, not around exactly 419, versus Chim's 331. But his goals are pretty big, 53 compared to Ended's 38, so definitely an advantage there to Chim, but it's likely down to the shot count as well, which is a little bit lower for Ended, I believe. I don't know if I've actually put the shot count here. No, I haven't. But either way, let's go to the funny stat, post hits. Ended with 19, and of course, Chim with, oh my god, I keep missing buttons today. Chim with 24, so Chim a little bit more inaccurate there. But what I'm looking forward to seeing out of Chim tonight has to be his little hidden talent in that third period Chim, where he just kind of switches on, doesn't he? Out of the games that I've seen, he just kind of starts. Just out of nowhere as well. Either way, we'll go ahead and move on to the defensive position this time around. Where I believe that I've gone ahead and I've put Josh in. Yes, I have. Josh has played a fair fewer periods compared to the other players in this matchup. 25 periods compared to Levy's 48. So, Josh was brought up pretty recently, like he started off the season and then was put down for a while and then brought back up again towards the end, if I'm right. Does that sound about right, Spar?
I think so. Yeah, he wasn't around too much during the middle of the season, but I think towards the end he's come out a bit. Exactly.
Which is probably down to the pass difference, which is probably the biggest statistical difference here, with Josh only having 158 compared to Levy's 44 passes. There's a pretty distinct difference there. Either way, it's still good to see Josh come in. And finally, we'll go ahead and quickly move on to the utility as well. Now, this one, I wasn't exactly too sure what to call it, but I have put down Boppy here, who's also pretty offensively oriented as well. But, Chim with that third period magic has to go in there. Either way, 331 passes for Boppy compared to Zemix's 489, who's also pretty goddamn offensive, if I do say so myself. And not in a bad way, I mean just in the way that they move on the field. You know what it is. Either way, key things for this area would likely be the passes. So Zemix coming out a bit on top here, likely to be in the middle of all of the plays that you see on the field. Either way, that's all of the statistics covered, more or less. A bit quicker than last time, because I knew that some people wanted that to go through just a little bit quicker and get to the game. But there is something a bit more entertaining than statistics that I've shown Spar a little bit of, actually. You ready for this one, Spar?
I'm so ready. I've been waiting all day to see this live. It is amazing. You've got to respect this man. His production quality is incredible.
Mate, thank you very much for that. I didn't need the plug, but you know, we're going to go ahead and take a look at a promotional video. I didn't have enough time to assemble one for the Open League, which is why I didn't have one, in case you were wondering last time. But this time around, I've upped the production just a little bit. So, you know, let's take a look at that now. Ladies and gents, enjoy. There we go. Alright. That was good. I like that. I saw a few comments in the chat go by that they enjoyed that as well. I would like to address one thing though. Massive Legend, why is it all just me getting ruined in goalie? Complain to the Sydney Gafs about that one, lad. They never told me when they were going live, so I've only got one game from the finals on record. Either way, I hope you guys all enjoyed that. We'll go ahead and kick off the poll, which I forgot to do last time, just while we're waiting for the lobby to come up. Go ahead and put in the votes in chat. Who do you think is going to come out on top of this one? Sydney Gafs or the FPSlappas? Yeah, that's really all there is to it. I'm looking forward to who you guys are thinking. Experience versus talent tonight. Sydney Gafs, of course, being on that experience side, and FPS being on the talent side. So go ahead, get those votes in. Wow, a lot of people are back in the Gafs. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Now, I think I've said quite a fair bit about this game, but is there any like key parts that you think that you're going to be looking at tonight, Spar?
Oh, I think one of the most dangerous things about Gafs is the fact that they can pass so well. Like, you know, you saw in the stats before that as a team, they have so many more passes. So I definitely think they'll be looking for those quick switches and play across post and scoring lots of goals. Absolutely.
A lot of teamwork and a lot of cooperation there. That's very good stuff. So it's going to be a good game still, I reckon. Even though Gafs do have that advantage, it'll still be a very entertaining game to watch. A very, very good one. Alright. Now I'm just going to go ahead and open up some programs here and there that I forgot to open up before, so that I'm ready for when the lobby does come up. which I think should be pretty soon. Looks like Boppy's got it ready, actually.
I think the lobby's up. He asked for the password, and he's told me it, but it's not right.
Is it not?
I am spelling it right. I can't get in. He's refused me entry.
Right, okay. Good stuff, Boppy. What a way to start. They can't even get into the lobby where the game's going to be played. Alright. Hopefully that does come. Hopefully we do get the password and the actual password pretty soon.
Okay, I lied. It was. It just didn't work, but I think I had to refresh my game.
Right, man.
It works.
My guy hasn't sent me the password.
Oh. I guess it's just me then. Sorry, I'll be taking over.
Unbelievable, Boppy. Unbelievable. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much. Alright. Hopefully, I've got enough time to just close my window, because I did forget to do that. Is that actually the password?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. There we go. We're good. We're good. Alright. Slick. Slick, good stuff. Let's go ahead and transition over to the game scene and pray that I have enough time to shut my window so that way my neighbors don't complain.
There'll be lots of yelling.
There will be. Man. There we go. Professional. We're absolute professionals here. Alright. FPSlappas lined up at the moment with Josh as OK Buddy, Chimos and Boppy. Meanwhile, Sydney Gafs going forward with their pretty typical lineup of Zemix, Levy, and Ended. This will be a very good match. Hi Quinn on standby, or maybe just watching. Likely on standby, though. Either way, here we go, ladies and gents. This is about to be huge. Once they start the game.
They ask if we're ready, but are they ready?
Are they? Doesn't look like any of them have readied up. Yeah. Looking forward to this one, though. Looking very, very forward to this one. Sydney Gafs, of course, being on the side of experience tonight, going up against FPSlappas with only 2 seasons worth of experience under their belt in terms of league matches and stuff. But in pubs, they are popping and ready all the time. Like, you see them in there a lot, especially Ended. Ended's super common to find in pubs in OCE.
Oh, they all are. It's crazy. Every second game, I'm against a 3-stack of them and get like 5-0'd.
Well, it's good to know that they've been practicing then.
Oh, they've been practicing a lot, yes. Especially
as a team, word from Boppy before we started the stream is that he just simply couldn't get the rest of his team on to get like a practice game going. So he was just sitting in pubs. He's practicing solo. Alright, looks like that the game has indeed begun. Lovely stuff. Let's go ahead and take a look at this one. On the face-off, Zemix and Boppy start us off. Right now, Chim rakes that one back. Down to Josh at the moment. Going across boards over to Chim. Back down to Josh as well. Probably looking for a pass over to Boppy here, but Zemix is marking, forcing Josh to come out at a different angle. Over to Chim. Back again to Josh. Right now, Sydney Gafs really limiting their opportunities here, but Zemix comes in with a takeaway and does get it out to Ended. Going over to Zemix, who'll go back to the main back player here, Levy, who takes the shot immediately, although no points. Dang, very, very close to goals there off the bat. FPS under a fair bit of pressure already, it seems. Very gentle pass over to Josh, intercepted by Ended. Looks like he'll come up with this one. Yes, he will. Gets around Boppy, almost finds a line around Chim as well, but only just hits posts. Chim taking a straight shot there. I think that was Ended that came in with the dash, but either way ends up back with Boppy trying to get around Zemix. Does get it over to Levy. Back down to Zemix again. Usually not playing in the back play, but he is a pretty good utility player. Very good for those rotations, especially in awkward situations. Either way, Zemix does get around Boppy. Some talent there, good stuff, but the defense was strong from FPS. Puck ends up with Josh, looking for Boppy or Chim, maybe both of them. Neither of them actually know. But puck ends up with Josh again, going over to Boppy, back to Chim. I think that was a pass as well, but didn't quite hit the mark. Does sit up in front of goals though, but Levy going over to Zemix, centering to Ended, not able to make the receive. So close to goals there. Boppy trying to get a pass, very good pass over the center of the field where Chim takes it away from Levy. tries to take the quick shot himself, but not quite able to. Ended moving this one up. Pass over to Zemix, center over to Levy. Again, not quite able to. Making good use of those passing plays, as you were saying before, Spar. Just really trying to move the puck around it into those opportune positions, especially using boards and stuff and wall passes, just to try and get around the FPS defense at the moment. However, the defense is strong from FPS and results in a takeaway where Chim will bring this one up from behind his own goals. Looking for a way around over to Boppy, but a good intercept there by Ended. Boppy gets this one back, tries to take some possession here, and takes the shot, but Levy in defense, again, being huge. A massive player, but Chim comes in early this time around. No need for period 3, because Chim is here and ready to get those miraculous goals. Lovely stuff. Chim off the face-off, moving this one down. Intercepted again by Ended, who goes over to Zemix. Back to Ended again. Just trying to maintain some clean possession. Probably trying to wear a little bit of rust off or something. Maybe they haven't warmed up properly. Either way, they are looking they're looking a bit panicky right now. Zemix almost overturned that one. And Levy's going to have to take control here. Levy going over to Zemix. Almost finds a narrow angle, but Chim comes up in defense. Being pretty good, to be honest, in the goals at the moment. FPS defense appears to be holding up to the Sydney Gafs' just relentless offense that they're characterized for, but the Sydney Gafs defense breaks there off of a team play.
Wow. Great passing. Unfortunate from Levy. Made the save, but just wasn't strong enough to get it away.
Yeah, unfortunate there. Did his absolute best, though. Very, very close, but just a crash the net there right at the end results in points for FPS, and Sydney Gafs clap back quick. Oh my goodness. That's sick. Oh my god. Levy and Boppy on the face-off. Levy trying to fight for this one as hard as he can, but Boppy really causing some confusion there. And it ends up with that one. Getting it over to Zemix. Pressured by Chim at the moment. Levy backing up just in case Zemix doesn't come away with it. But Zemix does actually get a takeaway from Boppy there. A lot of back and forth of possession, but it finally doesn't settle out yet. Chim with this one takes the shot, and Levy in defense again. Huge for Sydney Gafs at the moment. With 1:10 left to go on the clock, FPS at 2 points, the Sydney Gafs at 1. So far, the match is not going in the way that the poll was predicting it. Chim just tries to take that shot there. A little bit too simple for Levy, easily defends that one. Ends up with Zemix trying to get around Chim at the moment, but Chim with some stepping does manage to retain possession and get it over the Boppy. Comes out to the center of the field and slots it through 3 people in defense.
Wow. I thought that came off one of the defenders, or did it maybe?
I think it went straight through. That's insane there.
Great shot.
As I was saying before, I was trying to decide whether to put Chim or Boppy in that offensive position, but apparently Josh wants his way in there too. He wants to be an offensive player this time around. Lovely stuff. Sydney Gafs 1-4. The poll was not ready for this outcome. Right now, Chim on boards with Ended. Does manage to get that one back down to Boppy. Pretty comfortable in the back play, I would reckon. Being forced down there quite a lot and really just forced to rotate into pretty much every position that there is for him. Chim likes to stay in the offense and Josh likes to stay in defense, but Boppy is there to cover for whenever those gaps are made, like there. Again, Boppy, very big in goals. I don't think that was quite a save, but still huge. With 10 seconds left, it looks like that Sydney Gafs will be going into the next period with a 3-point deficit. Pretty difficult for them to come back from, but still entirely possible. Remember that there's 2 more periods to go, and it is a best of 5. So, we're going to be here for a fair bit longer. Anything you got to mention about that period there, Spar?
It started off quite slow. I think about 2 minutes without any goals, and then you end the period with 5 goals. So it started off quite slow, but definitely picked up the momentum. It's very exciting now.
Exactly. Puck ends up with Levy right now. Pretty big possession just positional possession in favor of Sydney Gafs at the moment, and they try to make use of it, but just not able to land that narrow angle. Ended taking a second shot there. but a miss ends up with Boppy back in possession. Z-Mix almost intercepts, does actually get the puck away, but Boppy, huge takeaway there. But rakes it straight back to Ended, over to Levy, trying to center that one. But again, Boppy in the right place at the right time. Ends up with Ended again, getting around Josh, over to Levy. Levy looking for another pass. Center maybe. Can't quite find it. Has to go around boards, over to Ended. Very good center where Z-Mix can come in. Oh, what a team play. That's what the Sydney Gafs are about right there. They just haven't quite clicked. 2-4, looks like the Sydney Gafs aren't running away from this one. Right now, puck ends up with, who's it going to be? Levy off of the face-off. He just takes the shot himself, a little bit too wide, ends up with Ended. Perhaps trying to rake that one back. Good touch there by Ended off of a pass from Jim. Ends up with Levy in possession, taking a shot again. Not quite able to do it. Again, that defense from FPS and just their versatility as a team is really putting them in a good position at the moment. Sydney Gafs forced to try and make space with wide plays that at the moment they just don't seem to be clicking with. Puck ends up with Josh, who takes the shot, hits posts. It was so close. Oh my god. Z-Mix right now coming up with this one, takes the shot again, but Boppy, again with that just rotations. Boppy is huge around the field at the moment. Numerous saves and shots going his way. I can't wait to see the stats for him at the end of the game. Jim ends up with this one, going back down to Boppy again. Levy putting on some pressure right now. Jim going for a bit of a clear, where Z-Mix will get to it first, and Josh backs off. Z-Mix over to Ended. Ended, oh my goodness, what is going on, Ended? That's not normal for Ended. Ends it with Jim. And Levy might get this one back. Ended going for bumps, not confident in taking it, but does serve it on a silver platter for Levy at the moment, who takes the shot. A little bit too wide, ends it with Chim out into the middle of the field where Z-Mix will take it. Pass from Levy over to Ended. Ended struggling to get this one away from Boppy at the moment, ends to go over to Z-Mix, sent it over to Levy. Levy opportunity, and just the defense again from FPS, really forcing a bit of a tight match out of Sydney Gafs. That one went close to goals, but Levy knew he had it. Right now, Boppy at the moment looking for a line. Over to another player. No, tries to run it himself down a short side. Ends up with Levy taking this one. Levy looking for a step around Boppy. Boppy, a good bump there. Ends up with a takeaway. Looks like he might be able to try and make something here. Pass over to Josh maybe. Does go for him, but it's way too gentle. Levy gives possession back. Z-Mix at the moment fighting for this one. Trying to get around Chim. Stepping. Come on. A little bit more. Does get around Chim. No, he doesn't. Has to go for a clear there. Very, very interesting stuff. Boppy calming the game down a little bit. Going all the way across the field. Ended with this one at the moment. Pass over to Z-Mix center. Levy not able to receive that one. Ends up with Josh. Yeah, Levy does actually get the puck there at the end, but again, overturns over to Boppy. Going around for a full clear there with Ended coming up with this one. Ended usually not in the back play, but he might be able to get a good pass off over to Z-Mix, who's not able to make the receive. Ends up with Boppy. Again, FPS looking pretty dominant at the moment for a very high quality match. Puck ends up with Ended over to Z-Mix, over to Levy. Levy opportunity, might be able to crash. No, won't. Boppy gets the puck, goes for a clear. Puck ends up with Ended over to Levy. But a good shove there from Chim. It does end up with the puck coming out, but Levy is able to retain possession for his team on this one. With a minute left to go, pressure's starting to mount on Sydney Gafs for this first point in the series. 2 down. Again, it's very possible for a comeback, but even still, not easy. But Levy comes in just as I'm doubting them. Oh, lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. On the face-off, Ended and Josh with this one. Ended tries to run this one up the field, but loses possession. Not quite looking like his normal self tonight, if I do say so. Z-Mix runs this one past. No! Shot Ended, unable to crash the net, but Boppy with a good clear getting on away from net. FPS, again, huge in defense. Levy ends up with this one. Sydney Gafs looking for a good pass. Josh, good pressure there. Forced a, honestly, pretty sloppy pass, and now throws off the entire composition of Sydney Gafs. Really just extinguishing all the pressure that they were trying to mount. Ended at the moment, unable to come up with this one. Ends it with a clear over to Boppy, who goes for another clear, relieving some more pressure. Right now, with 10 seconds left to go and a point difference, I'd say that this won't be evened up in this period, But Levy might have something different to say. No, just taking this one out. Secured. A single point down, no mistakes. It's not the usual Sydney Gafs that we're seeing at the moment. And it's looking a little bit shaky here and there. So Zimix and Levy are trying to step up for it, I think. I think that's what we're seeing at the moment. Either way, very strong performance from FPS, just making full use of the field. Surprisingly landing quite a fair few of those passing plays and just playing the macro. Playing a macro game, you know?
It's great.
Yeah, it's good to see.
Intense.
Yeah, especially for a team that's like only been in for 2 seasons, to be able to understand the macro game and just really relieve pressure. Oh my god! Chim not playing the macro game. He comes in with a miraculous takeaway and point. Oh my god! That's another point over to FPS, extending their lead. 3-5 with an entire period left to go. Sydney Gafs, they've had the pressure piled onto them. Zemix right now with this one back down behind his own goals. Looking for a pass. 2 good opportunities. Goes over to Ended. Ended looking for a center to Levy maybe. No, goes back down to Zemix from the pressure that FPS was mounting. Zemix with this one. Again, usually not in the back play, but he is a pretty good utility player, able to slot into any of these positions, like most of these players really. But with Ended and Levy, Levy's probably going to want to be in the back, while Ended's going to want to be up the front. Although Zemix has shown, just over to the course of tonight's matches, a bit more stability, I would call it. Ended probably just being hit with the nerves at the moment. Either way, ends up with Levy, takeaway by Boppy. Again, back to Zemix, a lot of just possession going back and forth there. But Levy comes up with this one. Zemix trying to get into a position to get past to, but has to come in on this one. Almost able to make a play, but Chim and Boppy in defense. Big stuff there. Boppy just watching that line in case that it does get past Chim. Chim going over to Josh, over to Boppy. Boppy right now trying to make a misdash occur. Not able to. Levy, very good takeaway there. Trying to give Ended some time to get away so that he has a better passing opportunity, but it didn't move at all. Puck ends up with Levy again. Trying to take this one securely back down behind net. Trying to get around Boppy. Does get a good pass off. Nice stuff, but Ended with some more pressure being forced onto him. Just not able to make a play there again. Right now, Levy gives it away to Boppy, who comes in with a point. Oh my word, Sydney Gafs are looking just a little bit shaky at the moment. Some mistakes here and there.
It's not the first time Levy's done that tonight either.
They're not quite looking like themselves at the moment. They've really got a... they're crumbling under the pressure, to be honest. Not a great first game for Sydney Gafs. But you know, hopefully they will just iron out some of these issues going into the next few games. It's hard to believe that they'll have a comeback in this one, but you know how the commentator's curse goes. The moment that you say that a team's won, the comeback begins.
You're very good at that, I can tell you that.
I'm also very good at getting players' names wrong. Don't worry, it's one of my talents.
One of many.
Puck ends up with Ended. Maybe looking to start that comeback, not able to crash the net. Oh, it's just, the puck's just hanging in front of it. FPS have just got complete control at the moment. Just that defense and the pressure that they're applying, it's throwing off the attack. Levy almost able to crash the net on that one, but not quite able to. In the middle of the field, looks like that Josh might try and get that one away, but Zemix does end up with it. Goes over to Ended, looking for a line over to Zemix again. Center over to Levy, not able to make that final play. Almost found a line though. Ended looking for a very offensive play there with the center over to Zemix, but wasn't able to make it work. Too much defensive pressure from FPS there. Speaking of FPS, nearly a takeaway from Boppy as well. Ended trying to take that shot there. Very simple. Both FPS players were in defense there at that point in time. So that one probably wasn't going to work. Boppy applying some huge pressure at the moment. Ended has to come in and try and help clean it up. And Chim, again. Oh my god, he's finding some insane lines at the moment. Just, they're so close to the Sydney Gafs players that they're just creeping straight in. FPS 7-3 leading this one. as I said before, commentators curse and everything, but I think it might be safe to say now that Sydney Gafs have lost the first point. I was getting a bit excited there, but I think they hit both posts. I can't believe they hit both posts. Oh, dude, that's an awful feeling there when it hits both posts. Either way, getting back into the game. Possession coming out for Sydney Gafs. Zemix looking for Levy, not able to find it. Ends it with Ended, forced back. Josh looking to mark a pass. It does actually come up and apply some pressure to Ended, trying to get around Chim. Overturns over to Zemix. Almost able to get that one through a very narrow top bins. Josh right now with the possession. Back down behind Sydney Gafs' goal. 35 seconds left on the clock. Any points from here on out are really just putting the icing on the cake at the moment. Pass over to Ended. Is able to get the point in the end, but probably not through the most conventional means. It gets saved a few times, but it does slide through.
I'm sure they'll take that.
I'm sure they will.
They need the goals.
Absolutely. I think they would have liked those goals earlier, though. 4 points to 7. 20 seconds left to go. Looks like Boppy might actually add on another one here. Yes, he will. That's sealed. That is sealed, this one. Yeah, Ended just not quite himself at the moment. It's really unfortunate to see high-quality players start to crumble under the pressure like this, but, you know, that's what it is. That's what Slap's about, you know, just trying to play that mental game and the technical game. Just, oh, Ended actually finding a good line there, but again, the FPS defense just knows him too well. Funny thing is, we were talking to Boppy just before this match, and they were all about, you know, are we going to lose and everything. But what's that one funny statistic that you like, that he wanted you to bring up, Spar? What's that one statistic?
The one statistic?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
You sure you don't remember? I think you do.
Is it the one about last season?
Yeah, it's the one about last season. That's the one.
The one about last season in Gafs, I think. I'm pretty sure. I think Gafs last season only made it to the prelims of season 10. I can't remember who beat them.
Yeah,
I can't remember who beat them.
A certain team did beat them there. I do remember that. I wonder who. Either way, let's go ahead and take a look at the actual statistics for that game. Very quickly, because it looks like that they do want to get into another match here. 4 to 8 goals, 62% goal score success rate for FPS, and big possession going towards Sydney Gafs, which is usually not what you expect. Either way, wow, they were quick to get into this one.
Oh, we might have to cancel that, Mr. Cowie. You need a new lobby.
Oh, do we?
Yep.
Okay, because I thought that Boppy's on their team, so I think that he might be alright with it. Yeah, Boppy's alright with it. We'll just roll. Just roll with it, yeah. Okay. A little bit of confusion going into the start. It's Boppy. We'll roll with it. It's fine. Either way.
I'm pretty sure it screws up the logs.
It does, but Boppy's commissioner, you know, he'll take the blame on this one.
He can. Yep. All right. You know, he can spend the next 10 hours fixing it all if it gets screwed up.
Exactly.
Otherwise, I'm going to get an abusive message from Gur saying, "Why didn't you switch lobbies?" And I'll tell him I told Boppy so, but he didn't listen to me. Exactly.
It'll be fine. You know, not your fault. So it's his problem to sort when it happens.
Yep. Exactly.
Anyway, back to the game. Already almost a minute gone. FPS and Sydney Gafs both nil at the moment. Josh almost able to try and up the score there, but just a little bit of a miss. And really just no opportunities for players from either team here. Boppy with this one, looking for a good passing opportunity. Never mind, tries to go at himself. A little bit of skill there in that one, but still not quite right. Ended with this one, moving up from behind his own goals. 2 passing opportunities, goes over to Zemix. Quick shot, not able to quite take that line there. Right now, Boppy with this one. Takeaway by Levy with a pass over to Zemix. Looking for another pass here. No! Takeaway by Chim, and possession goes back down to Levy. Again, very experienced in the back play here. Chooses Ended for this one. Center, lovely, but Zemix not quite ready for it. Nor was he in position. Puck ends up with Chim on this one. Going around to Boppy. Trying to get through Zemix here. Zemix with a takeaway. Pressure applied on FPS. Ended comes in. Opportunity for him to regain some lost confidence here. Good center by Zemix. Ended still ready and waiting for this one and has to dump it behind goals where Boppy comes up with it. Pass over to Josh. Likely forced there from pressure. Josh almost making a good line as well. But still no points with 2 minutes and 50 seconds left on the clock. Levy moving this one. Pass over to Zemix. Ends up with Josh again. Some of these passes have been missing a little bit here and there. Either way, Chim with this one. Pass back over to Boppy. Looking back for Chim again. Not able to make the receive and ends up behind Sydney Gafs goals. Center over to Boppy. Looking for a line and does find it. Oh my goodness. Some of these passes coming up from behind goals are crazy today. Okay. Puck ends up with, let's see, Chim off of the face-off here. Ended batting away Chim for this one, but a very good takeaway there again from Chim. Boppy looking for a way around Zemix here. Ends up going all the way down to the other end of the field where Levy cleans it up. Pass over to Ended, going back down to Levy again. Levy trying to rush some plays here a little bit. I think he needs to give his team just that tiny bit more time to kind of set their lines, set their passing plays, and just, you know, really get ready for an opportunity here. But they're trying to just rush things. Puck ends up with Levy on this one, perhaps, trying to get one back to the rest of the team, but Boards kind of does screw him up a little bit there. Right now, Levy competing with Chim, goes over to Josh, able to get some good possession here. Likely a shot, but a bit too wide. Ended ends up with this one, going over to Zemix. Zemix going back to Ended again, some good passing plays, still not able to get through the defense of FPS at the moment. Josh almost finding a good line, but Ended standing in it, just blocking that shot. Lovely stuff. Puck goes over to Zemix, a little bit too wide. Chim going over to Boppy. Boppy back to Chim. Looking for another pass. He maybe back along goals, taking it back down behind Boards. Maybe? Let's see. Does bring this one out now. Tries to go for the shot. Ends up with Josh cleaning this one back up. Perhaps trying to get it out to the rest of his team. Chim does take it away from Zemix. And Boppy at the moment looking for Josh again. A little bit too wide. And Levy looks like he will come up with this one. Good bump from Josh, sorry. Almost a very solid play there. Right now, Levy looking for space to pass over to Zemix. Has to dash back to receive that one, but it does end up with Ended. And Boppy in goals, closing the door for Sydney Gafs' return in this period. Oh my goodness. 30 seconds left on the clock. That must hurt Sydney Gafs right there. A very, very close opportunity. 25 seconds left to go. Likely 1 or 2 plays left in this for Sydney Gafs, and Levy makes the most of it. Oh, what a play. What a play. Levy and Josh on the face-off here. Puck ends up with Chim going around over to Boppy. Boppy looking for a pass over to Josh. Does manage to find him. Ends up with Boppy again in the center of the field. Oh. Uh-oh. SpaghettiOs, Sydney Gafs defense, not there.
Zemix dashing both ways.
Zemix
rushing it.
Going both ways and ended back in goals. Still looking pretty shaky. Not good signs for Sydney Gafs tonight. Boppy dangerously bringing that one out in front of goals there. But still only a 1-point deficit for Sydney Gafs, though a lot of confidence issues for this one. Alright, looks like Ended, closed and left. What? I'm not sure what that one was about, but either way, Boppy wants just a second here. All right, well, with that, I guess we might as well go over some of the statistics. Oh, hold on. I don't think we need... okay, just talking. Okay, very cool. They just want to play. Yeah, we'll go with it. I was going to go over some of the old statistics, but, you know, I could just read some of those off as we're going into this one. So, in terms of passing plays, Sydney Gafs were dominant in the last game. Saves, FPS were up as well. Takeaways, just in terms of possessions, Sydney Gafs had the upper hand, but FPS made some more breakaways, some more plays here and there, and that's what got them that first series point. Either way, going into the second period for the second point tonight, Boppy and Zemix competing for this one. Looks like Boppy might be able to come away with it. Does end up with it, actually. Not able to make any plays, though. Good pressure from Ended. Levy looking for Zemix, trying to find him, but gets cleanly taken by Josh after just a minute amount of trolling here and there. Ended looking for Zemix, overturns. Chim looking to just get some possession on this one. Over to Boppy. Pass back over to Chim, who doesn't look too confident on boards, to be honest, just maintaining that possession, but still is able to get it over to Boppy. Over to Josh, no chance there. Trying to maintain some more possession, but Ended is there to fight for it. Ended and Levy, actually. A lot of people on boards ready to fight for this possession. Ended going all the way around, giving Zemix the advantage to get to it first here. Looks like that he might actually end up with it, but no, Chim, another good takeaway. He's the offensive player for a reason. Some of those bumps are just ridiculous that he can pull off. A lot of those takeaways are huge for FPS. I'm looking forward to third game Chim, because that's probably when he's going to really light up. There's something about that third period for him that he just loves. Puck ends up with Levy going for a bit of a clear there. I don't think Zemix was able to make the receive, and ends up overturning some more possession over to FPS right now. Puck ends up with Chim. Zemix putting some pressure on. Has to go for a clear / back pass. Back pass over to Boppy. Puck ends up with Josh, maybe Chim? Looks like it will be Chim going for a bit of a clear there. And Levy comes up with this one. Again, the usual back play of a Sydney Gafs, but there's a lot of confidence issues for them at the moment that are just really limiting their potential. Puck ends up with Josh on this one, back down behind FPS goals. 3 minutes remaining. Still plenty of time for Sydney Gafs to work their way back into this one. Boppy over to Chim. Very good contest again from Sydney Gafs, really just limiting those FPS plays. And it's actually starting to pay off a little bit. FPS looked much more dominant in the first game, but now they're kind of being forced back a little bit here and there. Boppy looking for Josh. Center over to Chim, not able to make the receive. Levy ends up with this one, forced out to Ended, where he will come up with this one back behind goals. Waiting for his teammates to get into a good opportunity to pass to. Zemix gets this one, trying to look for Levy. He's able to find it. Oh my goodness. I thought he'd missed that receive.
I think he did originally and then spun back the other way and managed to tap it in.
Very good stuff. Able to come back from that one. Boppy. Oh, that's going to hurt Sydney Gaf's confidence right there. Off the face-off as well.
They wanted that 1-goal lead back.
Oh no. It seems that every time that Sydney Gafs get an opportunity to just get up in this match, FPS come down and just smite them. Absolutely just ruins some confidence for Sydney Gafs at the moment. Chim ends up with this one over to Boppy. Boppy, again, extending that lead. Boppy is huge. Oh my god. Chim was able to find a very good pass, though, I do have to admit. Alright, now Zemix and Chim on the face-off. Zemix looking for a pass here. Maybe just maintain some possession. And it's Chim again! Oh my god! Oh my goodness! Oh, that's just amazing. Chim, he is huge. There's some occasions where you just look at him and you just think to yourself, well, he's not that great. And then he does stuff like this. He sometimes he makes a little bit of a fool out of himself, but other times he makes a fool out of his opposition. And I don't know what it is, but it always happens in that third period. Oh my goodness! Chim again setting up Josh this time around. What a lovely shot as well, by the way. The defense came in and collapsed there. Sydney Gafs 2-6. FPS in the lead, a massive lead, by the way. They have crumbled going into this period. They were doing so good before. Zemix looking for Ended on this one. Ended sending this one over to Zemix, taking the shot, but FPS defense closes in quick on that one. Ends up in the middle of the field where Chim will take this one. Looking pretty happy at himself. Pass over to Boppy, over to Chim. Not able to make the receive, though. Ends up with Chim again, looking for a way to pass to the rest of his team, but not able to. Ends up giving that one over to Boppy in the back play. With just a minute left on the clock, Zemix ends up with it. Tries to take a shot to even, ends up with it again. Does get around Chim, but Boppy in defense. Right place, right time. Huge stuff for FPS there. Denying that extra little goal and putting on that extra little bit of pressure that seemed to just be absolutely dominating Sydney Gafs right now. 35 seconds left on the clock. Zemix and Bobby competing for this one. Levy ends up with a clear back down to his own end of the field where Josh will come up with this one. Looking for a center over to Chim maybe, but it does end up with Ended. Goes for a midi clear there. And Levy, again, just trying to get some possession, but it ends up with FPS. When it really comes down to it, that important possession, FPS just seem to be really good at maintaining it. Chim again taking opportunities. Oh my goodness, if there's a goal ready for him, he will take it. Pounces on those chances. 7-2 in the second period. Sydney Gafs are just not in the right state of mind at the moment. Levy ends up with this one. 10 seconds left to go. I'm sure that he's just going to try and look for a no mistakes play at the moment. Ended with... that's the end of the play. End of period 2. Wow.
Wow, indeed.
Not quite what I was expecting.
No, definitely not.
Were you expecting Sydney Gafs to be a little bit more dominant in this one, Spar?
Oh, yeah, I was expecting quite an even contest, but FPS are just showing how good they are at everything, really. Like, you see all of them scoring the goals, all of them making the saves.
Oh.
Like, Chimos is proving here.
Chim is huge, and has been...
huge.
He's been huge all season. The entire season.
100%.
You'd see FPS down a point or two going into, like, 50 seconds, a minute left or something like that. And then Chim just comes up with the craziest stuff you've ever seen. It's really impressive. Puck ends up with...
Reminds me of Nick in finals.
Oh, dude.
It's too good.
Yeah. Finals Nick is crazy. Perhaps this could be the start of Finals Chim. Who knows?
Finals Chim.
Finals Chim.
The apprentice of Nick. He's been teaching him.
Must have been, dude. He's crazy. Puck ends up with Ended off of a good pass from Levy. Chim, again, being huge once more, forcing a takeaway where Josh comes up with it. Zemix trying to get this one out from behind. FPS goals. Ends up with him being caught out of the play. Josh going for a clear there. A nice, safe way to end that opportunity. Puck ends up with Levy, though, waiting for Sydney Gafs to just get into a wider position here. And Ended, again, not able to make the receive. Too much pressure from FPS. Speaking of pressure, Bobby just waiting in front of goals for that one. Just knew Chim would deliver it. 2-9. This is crazy right now. I thought that there'd be a much more even competition, but Sydney Gafs just can't seem to keep up with the speed that FPS are playing at. But Levy trying to just come in, and it's still just that little bit more confidence into them.
Hopefully it gets them excited and they want to prove they can score more goals here.
At the moment, it's all coming down to that mental game for Sydney Gafs.
Exactly.
They are just not confident in themselves. They're just missing some plays, getting stressed out of their absolute minds, and it doesn't really help when FPS defense just comes in, marks players, and bats them. It's one of the most infuriating things when you're ready to make a receive and you just get bumped out of the way. Oh, nearly another shot. But Boppy, I believe, again, huge in goals. The defense as well has been fantastic for FPS. Right now, Zemix looking for a line over to Ended, not able to find it, and it's with Boppy going over to Chim. Chim going to Boppy again, looking to crash the net, is able to. Little bit of defensive pressure relieved there by, I believe it was Zemix. He was there in the line and just not quite at the right time. It wasn't the time to do what he did. Puck ends up with Chim, maybe? Yes, it does. Good pass over to Boppy, who's in the middle of the field, ready and waiting, not able to find a line. Now ends up with Levy, looking for a way around Boppy. Pass over to Ended, intercepted by Chim. Back in possession of Zemix. Another just takeaway there from Chim. Can he get it away again from Levy? Nearly. Has to bat it back, though. Levy passing it back into the confusion for Zemix to try and come up with it, but not able to. Puck ends up with Ended right now. Gets a pass Boppy over to Zemix. Zemix looking for a line to Levy, maybe. Maybe trying to run this one himself. Does actually get a little bit further than I expected him to be honest. Josh going over to Boppy, dangling very close to the front of goals at the moment. Puck ends up with Boppy and Zemix just contesting on boards. Boppy bats that one back over to Josh. Looking for Chim. Zemix comes in on this one, takes the shot, and gets another point for Sydney Gafs. With 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go, though, it's still an incredible comeback to try and just gun for 6 points. This is a challenge for Sydney Gafs at the moment. Puck ends up with Chim. We know how he likes to go in these third periods. He likes to switch on here. Levy looking for a opportunity over to Ended. Very good angle on that one, but Boppy just knew that Ended was going to go for it. Levy, center field, again, not able to make that shot. FPS defense predicting so well. Ended trying to center that one, but not able to get it there. Levy chucking it into just a huge mix of players and almost goes into goals again from FPS. That would have been devastating for Sydney Gafs and their confidence right there. Puck ends up with Josh on this one, going around boards over to Boppy. But it's alright, a little bit wide, but still ends up with some good clean possession, going over to Chim right now. Does get past Levy, goes over to Josh in the back, goes over for a center to Chim, but bumps off of Zemix over to Levy. Zemix able to center this one. No, comes up from behind the goals. Lovely stuff, just goes back down, convinces Boppy and Chim that he's going to go around for a pass or a wrap or something, and just comes back up. Minute to go, it's a bit of a miracle to ask for, but Sydney Gafs could potentially work their way back into this one. 5 points, it's a massive ask, but it would really help them out at the moment, just for all of that confidence. Still, the pressure weighs heavily with FPS at the moment. Very, very dominant, and overall a fantastic performance in these first 2 games here. Boppy trying to look for a pass back, maybe? No, gets pincered by both Ended and Zemix. They're nowhere to pass to off of boards. And it ends up with Levy on this one. Again, pincered. They really like to team up on particular players here and there and just force certain plays out. 25 seconds left on the clock. Puck with Boppy right now, trying to get around some more Sydney Gafs defense. 2-on-1. Pretty much every time that they get the opportunity. Josh almost able to get a freak goal there, but not quite. 10 seconds left. That's this period pretty much sealed, and as such, the second point, I believe. Even still, though, Boppy...
Great team play. Look at the passes.
Mate, it doesn't matter if that was if they've already won this period. They want to mount those points. This is crazy stuff at the moment. End of that period there, and end of that game, giving FPS a second point in this best of 5. This is not a good sign for Sydney Gafs at the moment. Being forced into, how would you say it? A reverse sweep at the moment.
Well, all I'm gonna say is, I don't know what you'd call FPA to FPS, maybe like their sister club or whatever, but FPA did have a 2-0 lead against Game of Thrones in an open final and ended up losing 3-2 overall. Exactly.
Irvion's probably coding this one in right now.
He'll be throwing in the controller buff, or controller nerf rather, right now, and will leave FPS stranded.
Exactly. Just taking a look at some of those statistics there. Just the signs keep getting a bit worse for Sydney Gafs here. The possession statistic that they were up in the last game has now evened out with pretty much even and equal possession, with FPS actually getting slightly more. So have the takeaways, but in terms of passes and shots and saves and points and pretty much everything other than the possession-related statistics, FPS are in the lead again. And that's not a great sign for Sydney Gafs, especially with their back now pressed straight up against the wall. They have to win 3 in a row here. And that is a huge ask. Like, I mean, we've already seen how they've been dealing with the pressure so far, and that's, if you can call that dealing with the pressure, then my word, they're under a lot of it. You know, they're back in that mental game position again, where they absolutely need to come out on top for a chance, wouldn't you say?
Oh, definitely. They need to really sit down and focus hard.
Absolutely. Alright, let's get back into that lobby. This time they wanted to remake, so, you know, Boppy will only have to try and dig up those statistics for one game, but, you know, it'll be very interesting to try and get some of these players' opinions in the post-match press conference once everything is done and said here. But going into the next game here, potentially the last, depending on the outcome of this, looks like that FPS will actually end up with the initial possession here. Boppy over to Chim, trying to look for Josh again, perhaps. Good bump there from Zemix, keeps him off of it, and ends up with possession going towards Sydney Gafs now. Zemix passes straight over the Chim, but does come back with the puck again. But Boppy ends up with a very, very big player for FPS tonight, especially in defense. I should have put him in defense rather than utility, because he has been absolutely massive. Chim looking for the line, almost able to get it straight through Sydney Gafs' defense there. Puck ends up with ended right now. A little bit slower in terms of the plays at the moment, much, much calmer, and really just looking to make zero mistakes here. Ended passed back to himself on that one, further emphasizing that fact. Over to Levy this time. Overturns over the Chim, looking to try and build some speed. Good intercept by Ended. Ends up with a dump over to Boppy. Right now, I think that Sydney Gafs just really want to try and maintain control of the field and keep the plays at their speed. But some errors here and there are just going to mount that pressure on themselves. Levy looking for Zemix at the moment, ends up with Boppy with this one, speeding up the pace of the game. Pass over to Chim, and Zemix ends up with this one. Steps, trying to run this one solo, maybe looking for a center or a crash at the moment, not able to find it. Defense putting in too much pressure, and just too many people in goals for a play there. Ended almost able to get a very good shot off of boards there, but does get a center to Zemix. Lovely stuff there. Ended pass back over to Zemix, just comes in with a glorious whack there. 3 minutes 20 into this game. Sorry, left in this game. My apologies. Sydney Gafs are up. I think that just came off of posts. I looked away for a split second. I shouldn't look away. Right now, Zemix going back down to Ended. Trying to look for a line over to Levy, perhaps? No, blocked off by Josh. Has to go back. Boppy putting on big pressure. Trying to get possession back for FPS over to Chim. Chim, we all know how he's a freak of nature with these goals here. You don't think it's going to happen, and then he just does a single step and it lands, but not this time around. Ended going for a clear, trying to relieve that pressure for Sydney Gafs. Josh looking for Chim. Center over to Boppy. Good line. Oh, mate, Spar, that was crazy stuff, the passing plays.
They're so well just organized as a team.
Yeah, like, they're organized without being organized, you know?
They just know where their team is. That's so great about FPS, I think.
The awareness on the field at the moment, just able to find those holes in the defense for Sydney Gafs and just tear straight through them. It's crazy. I was not ready for such. I'm going to say a one-sided performance. It's not so one-sided in this game here, or while FPS still do look dominant and very strong, Sydney Gafs are actually holding up a bit better this time around. But in the last two games, FPS have put up a good fight and just worn them down to the point where Sydney Gafs have just absolutely crumbled. Either way, puck ends up with Chim. Good center over to Boppy. Again, some of that field awareness, just knowing where those teammates are and finding those lines just so easily. It's very, very good to see from a team that is very new. But Ended coming in, representing the experience on this field in Sydney Gafs, just finds that little extra line that Josh just wasn't able to cap off there. Puck ends up back with Chim, actually. More pressure mounting from FPS. This time they're actually a point down. I believe this is the first time tonight that Sydney Gafs have actually been in the lead. I think I'm right, am I?
I think so. Well, besides when they were 1-0 up, Gafs, and then came back. Yeah, they made it 2-1, and, you know, definitely the first time.
Yeah, it's pretty big for them. It's pretty big, and they're going to want to try and carry this all the way to victory. Ended coming in on that one. It was a certain goal, but he was still back there, ready to take that. Tried to play a bit offensively and a bit rushed there, which kind of plays into FPS's play style. Chim, opportunity! Oh my goodness! He comes in, snatches the puck, and scores! You make a single mistake around this man, and he swoops in and cleans up the play, leveling the score again. That is absolutely it just destroys confidence in Sydney Gafs at the moment. And as you can see, FPS have sped up the game as well every time they get the opportunity. they force Sydney Gafs to panic and have to go for dumps and clears and just trying to play quicker than they're used to. And right now, it's really, really playing into FPS's playstyle at the moment. And as we were saying earlier in the statistics, Sydney Gafs did have a much higher, I think it was pass count, but something that I didn't say was that their goal count in total is actually lower than FPS. So FPS really like to play at speed, whilst Sydney Gafs slow down the plays to the speed that they like to play at. Puck ends up with Zemix right now, over to Levy. Right now, Boppy ends up with it, though. Ended putting on some pressure. 2-all in the first period. Ends up with a clear. That'll seal this period here. Going into the next game, this is going to be very big for both teams. But yeah, just as I was saying before, Sydney Gafs like to play a little bit slower, maintaining that possession and applying pressure, you know, where they need to and how they like to. But right now, FPS are just playing off of speed and outplaying them simply with that pressure and the pace that they are setting. And it's really confronting for Sydney Gafs at the moment, who just seem to be crumbling, having to like dash and correct themselves way too much. And it's really working out in favor of FPS right now. Josh coming up with this one from behind FPS goals, trying to take that shot. Able to find the line, but the defense, again, huge!
Oh! The angle!
Oh my god! Narrow! Josh was in defense as well. These FPS blokes come from everywhere across the field. They should all be in the offensive category. Why did I even bother? Boppy ends up with this one, looking for Chim. Ends up with a bit of a clear, though. Chim not able to get to that one in time. Levy looking for a pass over to Anded. Ends up with him. Overturns, maybe over to Chim. Trying to get this one away from Zemix. Can he do it? Levy has to come in. And it does end up with possession. Steps one, trying to get around Chim, but does manage to get the takeaway. Chim getting around Zemix. Beautiful pass over to Josh. Not quite in a position to make a play at it, though. Is able to pass it back again. Boppy looking for a way around Zemix and Levy. Kind of compressed. A very line-based formation there. I don't think they trust one another to block the shots. Boppy going over to Chim right now. Chim looking for a line over to Boppy. Boppy not able to make the receive, but still able to get a pass off of it. Zemix ends up with this one. Going over to Levy. Levy back down to Zemix. Over to Ended, maybe. No, ends up with a dump. Again, that pressure from FPS is really just letting them keep up that possession. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. Puck ends up with Chim in this one. We all know how dangerous he can be. Trying to get a raid from Zemix. Not able to get through him, but still might be able to get this one back from Zemix. He does have the puck at the moment, trying to get around him. Chimos with the takeaway, looking for a shot, is able to take it, Ended, able to make a very good save there. Crucial in just not letting this lead that FPS have extending any further. Ended over to Levy, Levy over to Zemix, looking for a line over to Levy maybe, tries to take the shot himself, but that defense from FPS is just solid at the moment and cannot be broken easily. Puck ends up with Chim in the back play. Don't usually see him here. Still pretty comfortable over to Josh. Josh back down to Chim again. There's some of that macro play again. Josh just knows that the pressure that's being put on him is really just going to take away any opportunities that he has if he gets that puck and keeps going with it. So he just goes back to the rest of his team. And for some blokes that have only been in the league for 2 seasons, that's some very impressive game knowledge. Puck ends up with Josh on this one, going over to Chim. Chim looking for Boppy here. Is able to find him, but Ended is able to get the touch on that one first. Ends up with a clear. Josh bats this one back over to Chim. Chim back down to Josh again. Ends up with a bit of a clear. Puck just went too high there. No receive. Was able to be found for FPS. Giving Levy some good possession here. Very good pass over to Ended, who's able to make the receive, but not the shot. Back to Levy again. The more or less the dedicated back player for Sydney Gafs. Pass over to Ended, over to Zemix. Zemix not able to make a play at it. Back to Levy again. Holding very good formation. Just keep trying to make those shots. And they're only just missing as well. The pressure the FPS are placing, both through defense and offense, is just stacking on Sydney Gafs at the moment. It's so hard for them to make any plays. Zemix coming up with this one, able to find the line, but not able to get through FPS again. The defense in FPS is just so good and consistent. Buck ends up with Josh. Goes for a bit of a center, ends up with Levy. Boppy racing to get to that one, though. Just quicker, it seems. Levy gets away with it, though. Pass over to Ended in the center for Z-Mix. Not able to make the receive, though. Just a little bit too far out. Puck ends up with Chim trying to get around Boppy. Ends up with Ended, though. Opportunity to find a line. Center over to Z-Mix. Z-Mix trying to get around Boppy, but the bump really keeps him from making those plays. Ends up with Ended again. Ended opportunity. Hits posts! Oh, how heart-crushing!
So unlucky.
Oh, no! If Ended landed that, he would have been back in the game and ready to play. But that is soul-destroying there. Hitting posts in a crucial moment like that. Puck ends up with Chim, goes for the shot, almost gets through Levy, but just a little bit too simple for him, especially when he's in goals. Levy over to Z-Mix, a little bit too wide, ends up with Chim, pass over to Boppy, intercepted by Z-Mix, not able to find a line. Josh right now, looking for a clear, it seems, probably playing off of the back of time, trying to maintain that 1-point lead as Sydney Gafs are actually starting to put on some good pressure at the moment. 10 seconds left to go, Ended trying to get this one away from the rest of FPS. Some passes going around here and there. Ends up with Levy. 5 seconds left. He's going to have to take a miracle shot. Flashbacks to Steezy in the Sydney Gas versus Super Muscle Boys match, who made a absolute shocking buzzer beater, but not in this game. 1 point difference going into the third period. Sydney Gafs are starting to work their way back into this one. Alright, just waiting for some players to ready up now, but what were your thoughts on that game right there that we just saw? That last period, what are you making of it?
Just FPS defense is too strong. Like, they just work so well together, and, you know, they're down the field defending, and then the next minute, Chimos is scoring absolute bangers at the other end.
Absolutely. They're just flipping their offense and defense so quick. And as I was talking about before, the pass difference and just the possession, but the goal score as well. Sydney Gas lower on goals, but higher on passes in comparison to FPS. They like to play slow. And when you're switching between offense and defense just so rapidly, it's really starting to mess with Sydney Gafs. I think you'd have to agree with me there.
Oh, definitely.
All right. On the face-off right now, Ended and Chim. Looks like that Chim comes up with some good possession, but a takeaway early from Z-Mix gives Levy an opportunity to try and control this period a bit better than the last few games. Z-Mix right now contest, ends up in a clear, very clean possession for Boppy, able to easily get that one over to Josh. Levy being pressured, Chim comes up with it, ends up with another clear, and Ended in possession now. A little bit back and forth early on, but the periods, so far from what we've seen, tend to behave a bit like that. You know, it's pretty even, and then a team gets a breakaway, and from there it's one-sided. Z-Mix able to find the angle, but nowhere near enough power to get past Josh. Boppy able to crash the net, maybe? Chim forcing it back over to Boppy, but it looks like that one will not be happening. 3 men were behind goals there for Sydney Gafs, but either way, puck ends up with Josh in front of goals. Over to Boppy. Boppy, center for Chim here. Looks like that it won't get to him, though. And it goes for a clear. Oh, Josh absolutely missed that receive there. Looking for a line now. Almost sits up in front of goals, but just goes back down. All right, now Z-Mix and Boppy contesting. Boppy looking for a way around. Pass over to Josh. Going over to Chim this time around. Going to have to feed this one back down to the rest of FPS, where Boppy ends up in possession. Levy comes in on this one, able to put on some pressure onto this play. Trying to disrupt the FPS, just organization at the moment. But it still ends up in FPS, coming away with it. Boppy looking for a line over to Chim. No, the shot itself ended. Good block there. Right place, right time. This time around, Sydney Gas able to get that save at the right place, the right time. Whoa, very, very close to net there. FPS just scraping away with that one. Oh my goodness. Puck ends up with, looks like Ended might come up with this one. Oh, very good pass over to Z-Mix, middle of the field. Going over to Levy this time around. Boppy ends up with this one. Taken away by Levy, trying to just work his way around goals. Very compressed defense there by FPS. Everybody just stacked up in front of goals. And Boppy comes up with that one. Still not able to find that line, but able to mount that pressure. Now, forgive me if I'm wrong here and I'm going criminally insane, but I believe that we haven't had a goal in the in the first half of this period here.
No, I don't think so. I think it was 3-2. at the start of the period. So it's been quite even at the moment. A lot of like back and forwards, defense and offense. So waiting for that break.
Absolutely, Sydney Gafs looking a bit more solid than they did in the first 2 games, especially with those passing plays. Ended, finally boosting that confidence up with that one there. Able to slot it. He must be happy with himself. Right now, Boppy ends up with this one. The game has been equalized 3-3 with 2 minutes on the clock. 3rd period as well. This is very important for Sydney Gafs here. In 2 minutes, if FPS are in the lead, that is it for Sydney Gafs. Josh taking the shot. Oh, and it's ended again. Soul crushing. Oh no. He just worked up the confidence. FPS take the lead again. Chim on the face-off, putting more pressure on, forces another clear by Sydney Gafs, where Josh will come up with some clean possession. Boppy trying to get that one to travel downfield. Levy almost able to get a good shot off.
Fantastic save.
Yeah, very good save by Josh. It's that rotation that FPS has. You know, both Josh and Boppy can be in goals. Both Boppy and Chim can be up. There's pretty much every single rotation that they've got. It's strong. It's very, very strong. And it's because Boppy he's good at both offense and defense. He is a versatile player. And it's really just letting FPS play at speed at the pace that they want to play. Oh, almost a lucky goal there. Oh my goodness. Very, very close. A single point lead with a minute left to go. Sydney Gafs, they just need a single point to get this one into OT and try and work their way in for another goal from there. But it's very, very close at the moment. Sydney Gafs defense is just not quite able to keep up with the mistakes being made as well. Don't help like that one. 45 seconds left to go. It's still 1 point, very doable. But they're a bit of a shambles at the moment, if I'm going to say. I don't want to put them down or anything, but they are not confident right now.
I'm nervous just watching.
Yeah, exactly.
This is intense.
A single point in this one, and the fate of the Pro League Grand Final hangs in the balance of these last 30 seconds here. You know, not to put the pressure on or anything. Siemens evens up the game! Oh, it's sat up for him as well. Levy just able to squeeze that one out. This one could go into OT. The life of Sydney Gafs hangs in the balance! And Chim! It's Chim again!
Third period, Chim!
Third period, Chim!
I'll have that extra goal lead, thank you.
We were talking about it the entire game. Chim comes into that third period, crucial moments. Chim, huge! FPS are going to play for time now. No mistakes, trying to limit the amount of goals Sydney Gafs can get, and that will be it. That is it. FPS coming in clutch. I am certain that so many people were confident in Sydney Gafs coming up with this one. But FPS coming in clutch. Chim, absolutely huge. Look at that shot count. 7 shots, 2 saves. Oh my goodness. Chim has to be MVP, surely.
That was, I don't know. They all deserve it. Can we give it to 3 people? I don't know. No. I say no.
You say no, okay. I will admit, Josh was huge in defense, very consistent, also moving around the field, able to be a viable player in offense. But also Boppy as well. It's the versatility. But Chim was large right there, and has been all game.
I think Josh was amazing. He made those really great saves, and he brought it level, and he scored the lead goal, but before Gafs brought it back.
Exactly.
I think Josh was the MVP for that third game, personally. It was amazing.
Exactly. For people overseas and stuff that don't know who Josh is, he would have been... he's left the game, so I don't remember the name anymore. What would he have been?
Okay, buddy.
Okay, buddy. Yes, my apologies. My memory fails me every time.
Hey, boys.
Welcome, lads.
Let's go.
They've moved themselves in here. They power.
I feel sick. I'm not gonna lie. I did not feel confident at all.
Mate.
Gafs is so scary, dude, because it feels like I don't know why it is, but it feels like first period, like we often like got a decent like lead on them. I don't know what it was, but like then just like trying to hold them off for time is so scary, dude. They're so cracked.
Absolutely. You
Oh
guys,
my god.
you guys were huge tonight. Just the versatility in the entire team. Like Boppy was in both defense and offense wherever he could be. Chim, obviously, just being the new reformed third period Chim. And then you've also got Josh as well. Huge stuff as well. In
Chim's
both.
crazy. I want you to know, like, so that last goal for them to tie it up, like that was my bad. And then Chim, like as we're going to kick off, I'm like, Chim, it's fine, redeem me, like I threw, but you score this kickoff. And man just goes and does it. Like, literally, I said before fucking interrupt, I was like, it's fine, Chim just goes and scores it. Chim played insane, dude. I don't want to hear no Chim slander at all. Like, Chim deserves the playoff MVP, dude. He played crazy.
Mate, you can't slander Chim. Not after the performance he's put on.
Dude, third period Chim is a goat. Actual backy, dude, I swear. He's a goat.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely.
Oh my god.
But yeah, a very, very good win. A clean sweep in terms of in points. In points? No, match points. There we go. That's the best way to say it. 3-0. Wow. It was pretty even for like a majority of the games.
Oh, it was so even.
Yeah, but eventually at some point, just the pressure that you were putting on, just with the shot counts, like you barely took any possession in that first game, but we're still up in shots.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's just finding those opportunities that just put on so much pressure, and in the end, Sydney Gafs just weren't able to keep up with it. Still a very good performance by them, though. Very, very good.
Nah, they're crazy. Chim and Josh are a bit out of their minds. Josh has, I think he read before the final, he had 7 minutes in the last 2 weeks on Slap. And man walks in and plays like that.
Been practicing a lot.
What? 7 minutes?
2 weeks, it's crazy.
You did not play like you've had 7 minutes of practice. Oh my god. That's some crazy stuff. Alright, looks like Ended wants in, so I'm going to go ahead and drag him in as well.
Drag him in.
Yeah. Welcome, Ended.
Well played, bro.
GG's, bro.
Yeah. GG's all around.
GG's ended.
That was a great game.
That last match up there was very, very close. That is some very, very impressive stuff.
Feels like every time they had the puck, like Ended was hitting these dumb angles. Like every time it felt, Josh felt like he was hugging the near post, and it looked like it Ended in front. It's so scary every time they have the puck. Like they can just slot it. So, they're cracked. They're cracked.
Absolutely.
Not at all, man. You serious? You calling us cracked? Did you just watch that game, man? What's going on?
It's Chim.
Just watch
Chim,
that
yeah. It's all Chim. Dude, let's get IP. I want an IP on Chim's account right now.
No.
Dead ass. For real? Like, if I'm gonna
I
be
just
serious,
Citrus Clown 2 myself, bro. It is what it is. You guys lost the Citrus Clown 2.
if I'm gonna be serious, that was a good matchup. We didn't prepare enough to verse a team with such a play style, and that's on us. There's not much we can really do there. But yeah, well played. Hopefully next season, different outcome. Not looking.
Trust the
to
controller
get
nerfs get pushed
another-
tomorrow. Ended, so
Yeah.
I think.
Nah, man, I want the controller bumps back, man. We gotta learn how to play that.
Can't beat him, join him.
I want them buffed. I want them buffed, man.
That was crazy.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just going to go ahead and start reading off some stats. Stop me if there's anything you want to talk about.
Yeah.
Goal score success rate, Sydney Gafs 44% to the FPS 33%. Face-offs, FPS 1 8-4. So very dominant there on the early stuff. I reckon part of that was down to Chim as well on those face-offs. Mate, you had like what? I swear, like 3 or 4 face-off goals. Yeah.
100%.
Luck
Every time it
goals.
felt like they were hitting some momentum and they got a couple goals in a row, it means like the amount of face-offs obviously go up. And we just always manage to pull like a little bit of momentum back because Chim just slotting them. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a very, very impressive game either way. Moving on, we've got passes. Gafs were dominant, 72%. Sorry, 72 to 61. I was mixing the possession stats there. Saves, 10 to 5, so Sydney Gafs were under a bit more pressure. Takeaways, 29 to 22, so Sydney Gafs also won that one. And finally, possession, Sydney Gafs were in the lead, but only just barely, 55% to 45%.
I'm surprised, but it felt like we were always defending. I don't know if that's just like stress, but it's so scary.
It was stress. It was back and forth pretty much all the time. In fact, if I were to say anything, in the second match, you were probably on the offense more than you were on the defense.
Jeez. I'm just glad we have a public holiday tomorrow so I can get away with not sleeping tonight. Dude, my heart rate's so high still.
Mate, how could you sleep? Too much adrenaline pumping in the veins.
Yeah, I get so nervous for games. I become the chim dude, so I'm glad that that he's taken the mantle of absolutely GOAT status.
Trust in Jim. Trust in Jim.
Absolutely.
All right. Either way, it was a great game, mates. Absolutely fantastic to watch and cast.
Thanks for casting it, boys. You're legends.
Thanks, Cal.
Absolute
worries.
legends.
Also, thanks to Gafs.
Good stuff on casting, boys. Appreciate it. Always lovely having you guys here.
Yeah, thanks.
No worries.
Cheers.
Boys, we'll catch ya.
Yeah, can we get
That's a
before
season,
we split off? Can we get a round of applause for Spar here? He's come in twice in a row, and he's done an absolutely fantastic job at casting for grand finals as well.
Too kind. I've loved it. I was a bit nervous the first time with the Open, but this time around I was excited. I had a general idea of what I was doing, so
It's crazy that the second best commissioner can be an OK caster.
Oh, Amy wants to come in. We'll bring her in.
Don't,
Amy.
don't,
No, Amy deserves it.
don't
She's
do it.
we're told,
Are you-
from, we're
wait,
told
wait.
from the Gafs
Do not do
captain.
What is?
Do not do it.
no.
I'm
not do
scared.
it.
I want to know.
I'm scared. I'm very scared. Is there any reason? Is there any reason why I ended? What?
You prepare backup quickly. Just
She's gonna
get
ask for,
moved
she's gonna
around.
ask for a divorce dog.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what she can say, but I'm not gonna like what she has to say.
Drag her in, drag her in, drag her in.
You know what? Just do it, bro. Just
Alright.
do it.
Just do it.
We'll rip the
Can't be
bandit
worse.
off. Get in
What's
here.
going on?
Hello?
Hello.
Wait, is
Yep.
this working?
Yep,
Hi,
yep.
team.
This isn't our tape. This isn't our tape.
This is
This is the
I can hear
this is
stream.
myself
everyone. Welcome to
coming
the stream.
alive.
Shit.
That was a really good play, guys.
We-
Not gonna lie, I missed some of it, but that's okay.
Bro.
Shout out to my women as well. I love them. They were like supporting me the whole time in the chat, even though I wasn't really there.
Oh my God.
And I love Gafs. I love Gafs, guys. I'm all for it. I'm like their cheerleader, and
You know,
I rep
also-
Gafs, dude.
Mate, I reckon if they brought you on the field, they would have won.
They literally, I was like, let me in the entire time. They didn't let me in, so but that's okay.
The Amy turnaround.
Well played, lads. Anyways,
Well
yeah,
played, guys.
season a bit, yeah.
Yeah, no worries,
Yeah,
man.
lad, we'll see you around Cal, see you around Spa.
Yeah.
Cheers, boys.
Yeah.
Thank you very much,
Thanks,
my
guys.
friends.
Bye-bye.
Great.
Vote. Make
See
sure
ya.
to vote Josh MVP, please.
Yeah, absolutely.
Chimos.
Shout out to my
What?
women, Nikki, Hannah, Layla, dude. They were watching the entire thing.
Damn.
Yeah,
Raking in
bye,
those
guys.
numbers. And Ender's gone.
And
That
don't want to
was
hear
so
any more
quick.
of it.
Thanks for cause. Thanks for cause.
Oh,
Thanks,
Thanks,
guys.
lads.
no worries. No worries.
Thanks. See ya.
See ya. All right.
Wow,
What a game. What
Wow.
a game.
that was incredible. That was amazing to watch.
Absolutely. Should we mention the plans for the awards? Or should we let that save up a little bit?
I think we can tease them a bit. I'm not going to show them anything, but
Alright.
I'm hoping, of course, with how awesome your streams are, I've actually to the chat, I've actually approached Cow Army in the hope that we can get an awards night streamed. And with the production value that Cow brings us all, we know how great that's going to be. So stay tuned. Make sure you vote for the playoff MVPs, rookies, and all that. I think someone's about to pop an announcement out for the playoff MVP for Pro. Make sure you throw your votes in. We might have a very cool awards night streamed alongside with our Slapshot contest.
Absolutely. Details haven't been sorted out for it yet, but it is in the works. So keep your eyes peeled for that in the announcements, I guess.
We shall see.
Alright. Well, either way, with all that being said and done, congratulations to FPS Season 11 Pro League winners there. Lovely stuff. And again, good performance out of Sydney Gafs as well.
Great from both teams. They definitely deserved to be in the finals. It was great to watch.
Absolutely. Alright. And with that all being said, I think I'll just go ahead and cap off the stream now. Thank you to everybody who came by to watch. I've noticed that the viewer count got very high there, about 70, so that's impressive for Oceanic Slapshot. But either way,
Step
yeah, 70,
Step
mate,
further.
70. We'll push it higher.
Imagine
we'll
that
push it
many
higher.
in pubs. Wow. There could be like more than 3 games going.
More than
That'd be
3
incredible.
games.
That would be a record for OSL.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Either way, I'll go ahead and close up the stream now. Thank you to everybody for coming by, and again, big thanks to Spar for coming in and casting alongside me. You've done a great job.
Oh no, thank you. I absolutely enjoyed it. Make sure to sub to twitch.tv/cowarmy33. This isn't his only. I'm plugging you here, mate. This isn't your only channel. Make sure you sub to him. His streams are quality in what he does for OSL. Although, he may not be directly involved with the league itself, but the amount of effort he puts into the streams and the production of all the games is second to none. So,
No, thanks, man. Thank you so much.
appreciate it a lot.
Just wait till next season. I'll be in the staff.
Oh gosh, you can take my commissioner role. That's fine. All yours.
No, I can't take your commissioner role. Come on. Come on.
Don't clip that though. Don't clip that.
No.
I want Irby on seeing that.
Don't clip it. Don't clip it.
Has Irv clicked off the stream yet? I hope so. Otherwise, I'm gonna get a mean DM.
Check it. No. Okay. All right. Yeah. Either way, as also, Irv's in chat. He's here. Run, Spar, run!
Oh, I gotta go.
All right.
End the stream. Hurry up.
All right. One last thing. Though, this will be posted to the Oceanic Slapshot League YouTube channel. So keep your eyes peeled out for that. I'll go ahead and I'll post a link to that before we head off as well in the Twitch chat. So make sure to go over there and subscribe to watch all VODs. So pretty much every game that I was able to stream this season. So all of the finals as well as most of the Pro League. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to cast some of the Open League games, but there's still the occasional ones there. So, once I go ahead and find this link here, make sure to go ahead, check that out, pop a sub, and keep your eyes peeled in case you want to rewatch. There it is in chat. Alright, with that being said, thank you to everybody for coming by once more, and I will see you all next season, I guess, or perhaps for that awards night, or anything that happens in between. We
shall see. Got lots planned, hopefully. So, definitely stay tuned.
Yeah, there's also what I heard Boppy say is 2v2, 4v4 State of Origin in the off season as well.
I've heard a bit of the 4v4 State of Origin that he promised a while ago, and it's been spammed in chat about 1,000 times. I'm sure it's going to pop in the Twitch chat now, but yes, hopefully a few off-season events and all that, keep the player base rolling, and prepare for Season 12.
Yeah. So, the summary, you'll see me when you'll see me. Alright. Thank you to everyone for coming through, and I will see you all in the next one.